What made the entire nail salon go silent when they saw what my ex had written on my credit card? I was getting my nails done for my best friend's birthday party when everything went sideways. The nail tech was being super chatty, asking about my weekend plans, when I handed her my credit card to pay. She glanced down at it and her whole face changed. Like, she literally stopped mid-sentence and just stared. Then she looked up at me with this weird mix of concern and confusion. Other customers started noticing because she wasn't saying anything, just holding my card like it was contaminated. I was getting embarrassed because everyone was staring, so I asked what was wrong. She quietly said, "Honey, you might want to look at this." She turned the card toward me, and my stomach dropped. There, written in permanent marker across the front, were the words, "Cheating liar," in my ex-boyfriend Tyler's handwriting. The whole salon went dead silent. Like, you could hear the UV lights humming. Everyone was looking between me and the card, probably trying to figure out what was happening. I felt my face burning red because I had no idea he'd done this. Tyler and I had broken up 3 weeks earlier after I caught him texting his ex. He'd been using my Netflix account and asking to borrow money, so I thought we were still on decent terms. Apparently not. The nail tech whispered, "Do you want me to try rubbing it off?" But we both knew permanent marker wasn't coming off plastic. I just nodded anyway because I didn't know what else to do. She started scrubbing with nail polish remover while other customers pretended to look at color charts. This older lady next to me leaned over and said, "Sweetie, that boy has issues." I almost started crying right there. Then I remembered I'd used this card everywhere over the past few days. The grocery store, the gas station, my work's coffee shop where I know everyone. All those cashiers had seen this and probably thought I was some kind of cheater. I called the bank from the salon bathroom, explaining I needed a replacement card immediately. The representative asked why, and when I told her, she actually gasped. She said she'd never heard of anything like that before. When I came back out, the nail tech had managed to fade the writing a little, but you could still read it clearly. She refused to let me pay, saying no one should have to deal with that kind of harassment. As I was leaving, she handed me her card and said her cousin worked at a law office if I wanted to press charges. I hadn't even thought about that being illegal, but apparently writing on someone else's credit card is destruction of property. The drive home was awful because I kept thinking about all the places I'd used that card. Then I remembered I'd paid for dinner with my parents last weekend. The server definitely saw it, and now I was wondering if my parents noticed anything weird about how he acted. I decided to text Tyler, asking why he'd done it. His response was, "You'll figure it out eventually." That made me even more confused because I still had no idea what I'd supposedly done wrong. Later that night, my friend Emma called. She'd heard through our friend group that Tyler was telling people I'd cheated on him with some guy from work. Complete lie, but apparently he'd been spreading this story for weeks. That's when it clicked. He'd written that on my card to humiliate me publicly, hoping people would see it and believe his story. The whole thing was this weird revenge plot based on lies he'd made up. I ended up having to explain to my parents, my coworkers, and basically everyone what had actually happened. Most people were supportive, but the damage was done. Tyler had successfully made me look bad around town. The replacement card took 5 business days to arrive. During that time, I had to use cash for everything, which was actually kind of liberating. No more reminders of Tyler's petty revenge every time I wanted to buy something. When I finally got the new card, I felt like I could breathe again. The nail tech texted me asking how I was doing, which was really sweet. She said 3 other customers had asked about me after I left. The best part happened 2 months later. Tyler tried to get back together, claiming he'd forgiven me for cheating. I laughed so hard I almost choked. Apparently his new girlfriend had dumped him after finding out he'd made up the whole story about me. I never did press charges, but I kept screenshots of his texts admitting what he'd done, just in case he ever tried anything else.